My Lord, the Chief Judge of Katsina State, Justice Musa Ladi Abubakar, who is being represented by Dr. Amir Heche, a consultant surgeon, representative of the Right Honorable Speaker, Katsina State House of Assembly, the Clerk of the House, Alhaji Kabir Yuguda, the representative of the Secretary to the Government of the State, the Permanent Secretary in charge of Cabinet and Security, Alhaji Nasrul Laden, our able Special Advisor to His Excellency on Labor and Productivity, Comrade Tanimu Lawal Saulawa, Head of Civil Service in absentia, our keynote speaker, the Permanent Secretary to Government House, Scientist Ibrahim Mohamed Keita, other highly respected dignitaries here present, especially the representative of the active registrar of the Medical Laboratory Council of Nigeria, Alhaji Musa Yahya Daura, the representative of the council in charge of the Northwest Zone, the coordinator Bashir Yusuf, honorable resource persons, notable among them Professor Bashir Abdulkadir Malum Fashi, Professor Usman Ali Udusama, as well as Professor Farouk Sarikim Fada, to mention but a few heads of health agencies here present, heads of health institutions, laboratory men in uniform, directors from the State Ministry of Health, those from the Katsina State Hospital and Services Management Board, other interest group invited to this very august gathering, especially the NMA, M1, NAM, Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, as well as AHOP, other highly respected guests, participants, a very good morning and assalamu alaikum. Let me first join others to warmly welcome, especially our participants, into the ancient city of Katsina State, the home of heritage and hospitality. Precisely for the first annual AMLSN Annual Health Week, the maiden edition with the theme Optimization of the Laboratory Capacity for Antimicrobial Resistance in Katsina State, a deep divide to strengthen laboratory diagnosis. Your Excellency, other distinguished guests, few remarks will make the opening ceremony. We shall in due course witness the technical presentation of the workshop training. It is my honor at this point in time to first invite Director Medical Laboratory Science of the Hospital Services Management Board, sitting by my far left, Scientist Manir Madaha, to please give us the opening prayer. Thank you. Thank you very much. Having said the opening prayer, at this point in time, we will set the ball rolling by taking the formal welcome address. So it is my honor to invite to the podium the State Chair of the Association of Medical Laboratory Science of Nigeria, Katsina State Branch, in person of Scientist Ahmed Tijani Abubakar, to please come forward for the formal welcome address. Chairman.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Madam Duko Uwarada, PhD CON, who is happily represented by the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Health, Honorable Musa Adam Funtua, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Honorable Farouk Lawal Jobe, who is happily represented by his Permanent Secretary in person of MLS Manjar Aliu Mani, the Permanent Secretary to Governor's Office, MLS Ibrahim Muhammad Kaita, the Head of Service, who is happily represented, the Speaker, who is also happily represented, other invited guests, Permanent Secretary from respective ministry, directors, Head of Institution, the representative of Acting Registrar, Dr. Obi Ofili, who is happily represented by his MLS Musa Hayadaura, the Northwest Coordinator, Bashir Alhaji Yusuf, my dear colleagues, men in uniform, both army and paramilitary, good day all. I stand before you as the chairman of the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria to welcome each and every one of you to our opening ceremony of this grand occasion. It is a privilege to stand before you today. I warmly welcome you to all our state and to this important occasion. Today marks a significant moment for AMLSN Katsina. We are gathered to learn, share ideas, and strengthen our collective capacity. I am pleased to see such an impressive mix of participants, including medical laboratory scientists, physicians, nurses, pharmacists, veterinary doctors, environmental, and all other health-related and community. Our workshop, Optimization of Laboratory Capacity for Antimicrobial Resistance in Katsina State, a deep dive to strengthen laboratory diagnosis, speaks to the urgency of the challenges we all face. AMR remains a global threat, and this gathering is an opportunity to reflect on our gaps and work towards practical solutions. Despite the challenges in our system, we acknowledge and appreciate the commitment of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Malam Duko Umar Rada, PhD CON, whose support has contributed to improving access to quality healthcare in the state. I also want to acknowledge the effort of the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Health, for his endless support and advice toward the success of this occasion. I would also like to commend the local organizing committee for their hard work and dedication. To our participants and all invited guests, we appreciate your presence here. Thank you for the support and honoring us with your presence. Once again, I welcome you to our maiden annual Health Week. I encourage you to participate fully, share your insights, and make the most of this learning experience. Once again, thank you and welcome to.
Thank you, Chairman. I think in an ideal gathering, the chairman of the occasion is supposed to direct the affairs of the gathering, unless he thinks otherwise. So at this point in time, it is my honor to invite our able chairman, whom earlier identified in my preamble as my Lord the Chief Judge of Katsina State. So I'd like to welcome his representative to the podium to build remarks on behalf of the chairman.
You're in the better position to continue emceeing. Yes. Distinguished guests, members of the AMLSN, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. My journey with AMR, antimicrobial resistance, started in 2009 when I welcome you on, actually. My name is Dr. Amir. I'm honored here to represent the Chief Judge as the chairman of this occasion. I was only made aware of this representation yesterday night, so I have not been able to write any comprehensive speech. So I will talk directly to you from my experience. My journey with antimicrobial resistance started in 2009 when I was a surgical registrar in UCH Ibadan. Plastic surgery unit. I was losing patients, seriously losing my patient on weekly basis to overwhelming sepsis. It was burns unit. Whenever a patient comes 90%, 60, 70% burns, he will definitely die. We don't have the resources to save those kind of patients. And every Wednesday, I will be the registrar to come and stand instead of those menacing professors to tell them why that patient died. Because, you know, in medicine, we don't believe in Qaddara. Whenever a patient dies, there has to be an explanation. And in all those instances, I'm at loss because what we use is empiric antibiotic therapy. And every time a patient comes and I use empiric antibiotic therapy and I lose the patient, I will be at the receiving end. So I was left with no choice but to collaborate with the microbiology department of UCH Ibadan to teach me how to treat infection. And from then on, I've actually developed lifelong interest in antimicrobial resistance. So we have to appreciate the gravity of this problem because everywhere I go, when I've left this country and I went into a training of acute surgical care, what kills most patients is overwhelming sepsis. Everywhere you go, no matter what you did, overwhelming sepsis kills your patient. And no matter how much you know as a surgeon or as a physician, you really need the diagnostic support of the lab. You can never do without the lab. So in 2010, WHO recognized the gravity of this problem and identified antimicrobial resistance and as one of the top 3 threats to human health. In 2019, I'm just trying to show us how serious this problem is. In 2019, there were 5 million deaths due to antimicrobial resistance. 1.3 million deaths was directly due to antibiotic resistance. 240,000 of those deaths were neonates. And in some studies, it has been discovered that 60% of the general population, 60% of the general population carry multi-drug resistant bacteria in their normal flora. I want you to really appreciate how serious this is. 60% of people moving around are actually moving around with bacteria that does not respond to any antibiotic. This is an identified study in 2019. And multi-drug resistance is a very expensive disease because it has been estimated that to treat resistant bacterial infection will cost you about $700. That is 1,015,000 naira. Just treating infection. So I really want us to appreciate how serious antimicrobial resistance is. And how high the burden is in our society is very high. I can't remember the numbers exactly, but I can read it up here. Please excuse me. That resistance to fluoroquinolones, that is the ciprofloxacin, the common thing that every patient walks into, resistant to it in our environment, Nigeria, is up to 90%. Resistance to extended spectrum beta-lactamase producers is up to 80%. These are serious antibiotics that we as professionals use to treat infection. So that is how high the burden is. So how do we approach this antimicrobial resistance? I think this conference, this annual conference, is one of the ways, and a very important way. Because you see, this is a topic dear to my heart. I don't know, I wish I had been given enough time because all my life as a surgeon, as a surgical registrar, antimicrobial resistance has been there everywhere I go. So how do we do it? I think the quintessential, one of the first things is awareness. And this conference, I think, is about awareness. And I would like here to give an example of a quintessential antimicrobial resistance educator who has been my teacher, Professor Stuart Blank Levy. He died in 2019. This gentleman discovered in 1976 that there is a prospective farm study. He discovered that microbial resistant elements, that is those genetic elements responsible for resistance in bacteria, in farm animals, can actually be transferred to farm workers. The implication of that is the use of antibiotics as growth promoters, which we use here in Katsina. Ask every chicken rearer and he will tell you they use antibiotics to promote growth of chickens. And they use it also in farm animals. So he discovered that the antibiotic resistance in those farm animals can actually be transferred to the workers, which now promotes antimicrobial resistance throughout the community. That is one discovery. 2 years later, he also discovered the reason for resistant tetracyclines, the efflux mechanism responsible for tetracycline resistance. About several years later, he also discovered the multi-drug resistant gene that is responsible for resistance of almost all microorganisms to multiple drug treatment. Now, the reason why I'm giving you Stuart here is because Stuart did not just sit down like we do as professionals with all this knowledge. The strategy he used is what I want us to use and to carry it in this conference as one of our template examples of how to handle antimicrobial resistance. This gentleman talked to the policymakers because you see, we only have limited professional authorities. He made sure he initiated a congregational hearing to talk to lawmakers and made them aware of antimicrobial resistance. That's the first thing he did. Subsequently, he talked to policy to drug regulators. He talked to FDA, that is the Federal Drug Agency in America, and galvanized them to make it a law that no farmer should use antibiotics in food producing animals. You see, if he could have just stayed in the lab but he actually knew that as a doctor, because he was a professor of microbiology and medicine. So he knew that despite all those professional qualifications, there is nothing he can do. It's something about policy and practice policy. So he moved to the authorities. And I want AMLSN, you have more power than us doctors. You have more, no, when it comes to talking, when it comes to making political change, you can actually go as an organization to enlighten the policymakers, the regulators, and the public. I have 15 minutes. You're looking at your watch. I have 15 minutes. So to enlighten the public, the policymakers, and the regulators about how dangerous this is. So, and also your organization, after appreciating the gravity of the matter and enlightening the policymakers. Now, let me finish with Stuart. Stuart now talked to the Congress, that is the Senate. He also talked to the regulators, and he talked to the doctors. He founded the APUA, Alliance for Prudent Use of Antimicrobial, in 1981. This is how we as professionals should be serious about this. Because at one time we are going to wake up with simple pneumonia killing all of us. Because there is all the drugs, all the microbes are multi-drug resistant. This is very serious. I have seen it firsthand. I have treated patients here with H. pylori positive reflux disease. Now, the serum antibodies are positive, and the patient now take the standard triple therapy. 6 weeks later, you're supposed to do a H. pylori antibody test again to see. But you see, that will not tell me anything because the antibodies suggest exposure. If I treat him with antibiotics, I should not now check for antibodies. I should check for antigen in his stool. There is no lab in Katsina. There is no lab in Katsina that does H. pylori antigen. So I now have to be blindly using antibiotics and promoting antimicrobial resistance. You're not helping me. You are not. So I really want us to appreciate. That is why the One Health approach, where we have intersectorial collaboration, the laboratory and clinician collaboration, is the most important thing. These talks will not help. Because you see, here you are talking to the converted. You are preaching to the converts. You see, you have to come out. Tell us why we are doing wrong. When I send for an investigation, ask me why. Promote the judicious use of lab resources. Right? You see a patient coming to you in clinic with a Widal test and demanding for something as important as ciprofloxacin treatment. How? How could this be happening when there is a doctor and there is a qualified medical lab scientist? And doctors are now demanding, patients are now demanding for me to give them antibiotics. This happens even in UK. This happens everywhere. But I want us to respect antibiotics and respect bacteria. Because you see, we can't fight them. We just have to use strategy. You see, Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928, right? Right? Penicillin were mass produced in 1941. Fleming received Nobel Prize for his discovery of penicillin. But do you know in his acceptance speech what he said? He said, this will not last. That's what Fleming said. Way back when he received his Nobel Prize in the 1940s. This will not last. And lo and behold, in 1945, there was 60% resistant to penicillin. In 1945. Just 4 years after the mass production of penicillin. Then we discovered methicillin and we were clapping. Right? Clapping. This bacteria is smarter than us. Do you know the plasmidine? A bacteria in a dog can donate a plasmid gene to a cat or to its owner without using. You know plasmid gene is what gives bacteria resistant to antibiotics. They are more generous than us. A bacteria that has developed resistance can simply gift its resistance to a different bacteria staying far away. So they are smarter. That is why the intersectorial collaboration involving doctors, lab scientists, politicians is the most important thing. And the federal government has a plan, the NAP plan, the National Action Plan on Antimicrobial Resistance. I think it's 23 to 28. I think that's what we need to come together. I didn't see any doctor here, I think, from us in the practitioners. You need to teach us. You need to come to us and tell us what we're doing wrong. And we need to tell you what we are seeing as a terrible disaster in antimicrobial resistance. I think I should stop here. Thank you very much. And as a chairman of the occasion, I think I will be more comfortable in letting Gafay to continue being the MC. I digress too much, as you can see. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think that's the beauty of bringing a practitioner on board. But thank you, Chairman, most sincerely for doing justice to your remarks. Looking forward to collaborate with the medical laboratory sciences just to move forward. Now, having taken the remarks by the chairman, next will be keynote address. I want to quickly invite MLS Ibrahim Mohamed Keita, the permanent secretary to Governor's office, to deliver the keynote address. Let's appreciate him.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Distinguished colleagues, Assalamu alaikum. The executive governor of Katsina State, Malanduko Marada, PhD CON, heavily represented by the Honorable Commissioner, State Minister of Health, the Deputy Governor, His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Malam Parugulawal Jobi, heavily represented by Permanent Secretary of the Office, Mandra Aliumani, the Right Honorable Speaker of the State House Assembly, heavily represented here by the Clerk of the House, a representative of the Chief Judge, who I could have said has already delivered my keynote speech. You can allow me to sit down, please. Members of the Katsina State Executive Council here present, representative of the Acting Registrar, Chief Executive Officer, Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria, representative of the AMLSN Northwest Zonal Office, other distinguished personalities, laboratory men in uniform, heads of health institutions, representatives of various health professions here, other intergroups, so numerous to mention, the resource persons. Assalamu alaikum. I'm here to deliver the keynote address based on the theme of this first AMLSN workshop, which is on the optimization of laboratory capacity for antimicrobial resistance, AMR and Katsina State, a deep dive to transient laboratory diagnosis. I will make it quick because of time. And antimicrobial resistance simply is a situation where antibiotics used to treat infections 2 years ago no longer works for same infections. And we should know that AMR is a reality, not a myth. The World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Global Antimicrobial Resistance Surveillance GLAS have consistently warned that AMR threatens modern medicine. And in recent estimates, about 3.57 million or 4.9 million deaths worldwide are associated with AMR. This is based on a confirmed study in 2019. Higher than many other well-known causes of mortality, including malaria and HIV/AIDS. According to the study, the worldwide burden of AMR is significantly higher than 700,000 deaths per year, as projected by WHO and United Nations. According to previous projections, it was estimated that AMR will kill over 10 million people per year by the year 2050 if urgent interventions were not put in place. And the truth has now been revealed that we are closer to the people than we actually thought. These are not mere projections, but they are documented facts. Globally, AMR trends are on the rise significantly among many countries and often face different principal challenges. However, in contradiction to various healthcare concerns, AMR is a challenge that concerns each nation or state, regardless of the financial level. Medical laboratory scientists are, however, are central to the fight against AMR, like the keynote speaker and the chairman has already enumerated. Every result of culture report directly influences either correct evidence-based antimicrobial use or misguided therapy that fuels resistance, because as medical laboratories, we are responsible for ensuring organisms identification, precise susceptibility patterns determination, reliable detection of resistance markers, effective outbreak surveillance, and development of meaningful antibiogram. So the campaign and awareness to sensitize the general populace and the policy makers on the managers of AMR request one health approach, which is an integrated, multifaceted, and collaborative strategy that recognizes the deep interconnections of human, animals, and environmental health. It involves a multi-structural effort to sustainably balance and optimize the health of people, animals, plants, ecosystem, prevent and respond to health threats posed by AMR. Additional facts emerge that approximately 75% of emerging infectious diseases originate in animals and are spread to humans, making a focus on animal health essential for preventing human outbreaks. Hence, this historic workshop has gathered experts from human, animal, and environmental health who will, in the course of this 3 days workshop, will give us more thoughtful facts, professional facts that we need to reflect on and work on. And then I will continue by saying the drivers of AMR in humans include excessive use of antibiotics. It's clear in our society they have indiscriminate and rampant use of antibiotics, especially among the local populace. Somebody would just feel maybe a stomach upset or whatever. He would just go to a pharmacy shop, dish out 50 naira and collect just whatever of antibiotic. And then once he feels okay, that's the end of it. And that's the beginning of antimicrobial resistance. So the overuse and misuse of existing antimicrobials have accelerated the emergence of AMR at an alarming rate. Poor personal hygiene, poor community hygiene, poor sanitation, and non-adherence to implementation of infection prevention control measures in hospitals, prescription of antibiotics without laboratory diagnosis are some of the drivers of AMR in human populations. So since the 1950s, there have been a steady increase in the demand for meat, dairy products, and livestock around the world, leading to an increase in these antimicrobials in agriculture, like the chairman has earlier said, and livestock rearing, which are not used only as medications, but also as growth stimulants, prophylactics, and metaphylaxis. This excessive use of antibiotics contributes to the development of antibiotic resistant bacteria, and the associated resistant genes, which have the potential to spread and be passed on to people through the food chain. So the use of antibiotics in animal feed has been prohibited in some developed countries. But for our situation, I don't know whether the country has started looking into that direction. And the aim is to contain the spread of antimicrobial resistance. In addition to all these facts, animal fecal matter has been found to contaminate the ecosystem with drug-resistant bacteria and antibiotics. So whenever livestock ingests antibiotics, about 30 to 90% is excreted into the urine and feces, exactly as it happens among humans. So the spread of AMR on farms has been demonstrated in research in a variety of livestock, particularly swine. It is also estimated that an amount of medication held by users is expelled in the activated form in fecal matter. So human ejected antibiotics will reach the wastewater treatment systems and sewage, leading to the contamination of the ecosystem with antibiotics and or resistant genes. So what is the solution? The solution could be optimization of laboratory capacity for antimicrobial resistance in Katsina State, and the country as large will help in strengthening laboratory diagnosis, which will inadvertently will help in curtailing the spread of AMR in the state and the country at large. However, the fight against AMR requires collaboration and integrated approach among policymakers that includes doctors, medical laboratory scientists, dental surgeons, pharmacists, nurses, veterinary professionals, livestock farmers, environmentalists, and other critical stakeholders. Efforts have been made in the state under the leadership of His Excellency, Malin Dukumar, rather PhD, by investing massively in the healthcare, infrastructure, equipment supply, and drug supply. I can tell, maybe when the Honorable Commissioner comes in, I'm sure you'll tell him more. But I can just cite a few things that have been done. There's deliberate approach to ensure steady and qualitative supply of drugs. By this, His Excellency, the Governor has is committed to establishing a drug manufacturing facility. Into this, billions have been invested in setting up the structure, and more billions are being spent to procure equipment. And then we also know that His Excellency has also establishing the Medical Imaging and Diagnosis Center, which is a high-tech diagnostic facility that can help the state and the country at large in this drive, which will include the curtailment of MRN rise in the state and the country at large. So these arguments and many more, if augmented with some policies and strategies that will be identified by the experts in various fields during the 5-day training workshop, will help the government to navigate and the complex landscape of MMR reduction in Katsina State and the country at large. So finally, it is imperative we adopt multifaceted approach to effectively curtail the spread of antimicrobial resistance. With that, we put forward in this, some of these recommendations. One is establishment of robust AMR surveillance centers in the state, implementation of comprehensive center for disease control. We can start that by maybe having a well-equipped state public health laboratory and AMR surveillance center to monitor resistant patterns, trends, antibiotic stewardship, and hotspots in human, animal, and environmental sectors. And then investment in research and development, allocation of resources for research on AMR, new antibiotics, and alternative therapies. I think during the courtesy visit, I was informed the General Manager has Substance Management Board raised this issue. Today, just before me, the chairman of this great occasion raised the issue. We need to have an effective, well-funded research committee involving all stakeholders. So we need also to create awareness among the public and educate the public. So launching a public awareness campaign on rational and responsible antibiotic use and AMR use in Katsina State is very essential. I can tell you, if we're not able to have data on any other antibiotic resistance in the state, we actually have data on Mycobacterium tuberculosis drug resistance in the state. And I can tell you, we cannot go without us saying that the situation is about for every death or cases of microbial deaths among tuberculosis patients, 14% are due to drug resistance. And I don't know whether the figure is still there or it has increased. One of the key resource persons is an expert on that. I'm sure he will give us more information on that. So, and then interdisciplinary collaboration, we have to start collaboration among ministries of health, agriculture, and environment to address AMR. Because from facts available, it's clear that we need to collaborate, if not for anything, to save ourselves. And support sustainable agriculture, encourage sustainable farming practices, and formulation of policies that will help to reduce antibiotics use in the livestock. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I come to the end of this keynote presentation. So, by this court, let's work together to protect Katsina State, Nigeria, and the world at large. Livestock, Katsina's health, livestock and health environment from threat of antimicrobial resistance. Thank you very much. Very sorry, I've forgotten to introduce myself before starting. My name is Ibrahim Muhammad Keita, medical laboratory scientist and a permanent secretary with the Katsina State Government. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Permanent Secretary. I'm not surprised with the quality of the presentation. Bearing in mind, he's a medical laboratory scientist to the core. He's a holder of a master's degree in microbiology, master's degree in public health, a master's degree in EPID, a one-time consultant with the WHO, and then Director Medical Laboratory Science State Primary Healthcare Agency before his appointment as Permanent Secretary. Allow me also welcome the representative of the Special Advisor to His Excellency on Public Service Administration Reforms. I'd like to welcome his Permanent Secretary, Dr. Sraja Abubakar, standing for the Special Advisor. We're pleased to have you. Thank you. I think another point worth noting is that this workshop is one health workshop, bearing in mind that those in attendance, I think we have medical doctors, we have pharmacists, and we have environmental scientists, nurses. All the health teams are being accommodated here. So that's what makes it a very unique one. Now, before the entertainment, we quickly take the good message from the council. So I want to invite the representative of the Registrar Musa Haya, Dora, to deliver the good message on behalf of the Medical Laboratory Council of Nigeria. So let's appreciate him as he comes on stage.
His Excellency, Executive Governor of Katsina State, Malam Duko Umarada, PhD, CON, who is ably presented by Honorable Commissioner of Health, Honorable Musa Adamu Funtua. His Excellency, Deputy Governor of Katsina State, Alaji Faruk Jobe, represented by the MLS, Permanent Secretary, Deputy Governor Office, MLS, Manir Ali Umani, the Honorable Speaker, Katsina State House of Assembly, who is represented by the Clerk of the House, the Chairman of the occasion, Justice Musa Dalladi, the Chief Judge of Katsina State, represented by Dr. Amir, the Permanent Secretary, Governor's Office, MLS Ibrahim Muhammad Keita, men in uniform, both military and paramilitary, members of press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to address this distinguished gathering at the opening ceremony of this critical workshop of antimicrobial resistance, AMR. I wish to begin by extending my sincere appreciation to the organizers, our partners, and all participants whose presence underscores our shared commitment to strengthening Nigeria's response to one of the most pressing public health threats of our time. AMR is no longer a distant or theoretical concern. It is a clear and present risk that is already undermining decades of progress in modern medicine. AMR threatens our capacity to treat common infections, manage chronic diseases, and deliver safe surgical procedures. The World Health Organization has consistently warned that without decisive action, we may face a post-antibiotic era where routine infections become life-threatening. For us in the Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria, the challenge is both scientific and regulatory. Accurate diagnosis and rational antimicrobial use remain the bedrock of any effective AMR containment strategy, stewardship and policy implementation. It is for this reason that AMLSN continues to invest in laboratory quality management systems, accreditation programs, and capacity building initiatives that enhance accuracy, reliability, and accountability within the diagnostic value chain. Workshops such as this one are therefore essential. They provide platforms for knowledge exchange, skill enhancement, and multi-sectoral dialogue. As AMR is a One Health issue, our success demands collaboration across human health, animal health, agriculture, environment, and political leadership. It is gratifying that today's gathering reflects this broad spectrum of stakeholders, reaffirming our determination to work together to protect the health security of our nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to express my profound appreciation to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Malam Duko Umar Radda, PhD, CON, for his unwavering support, particularly to the medical laboratory science profession in Katsina State and the healthcare sector at large. His Excellency's commitment to strengthening healthcare system, particularly through improvement in diagnostic infrastructure, workforce development, and professional regulation, has created an enabling environment for quality laboratory practice. We acknowledge and commend his visionary leadership and the priority he accords to public health and human capital development. AMLSN looks forward to continued partnership with the government and people of Katsina State as we work collectively to elevate healthcare outcomes. I wish to also recognize the dedicated medical laboratory scientists, technicians, and assistants across this state and beyond. Your daily commitment under often challenging conditions demonstrate your professionalism and resilience. As the regulatory body, Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria will continue to create standard, protect the public, and support the continuous improvement of your practice. This workshop is not just another event, it is a call to action. I urge all participants to approach the session with keen interest, to interrogate emerging evidence, and commit to applying the knowledge gained, strengthening antimicrobial stewardship, enforcing proper infection prevention and control, and improving laboratory-guided treatment decisions must remain our priorities. As we are going to formally declare this workshop open, I encourage us all to see AMR not only as a threat, but also as an opportunity. Opportunity to transform our laboratories, strengthen our systems, and leave a legacy of responsible, evidence-driven healthcare. I thank you all for your attention, dedication, and partnership. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Katsina State Government. God bless Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria. And God bless AMLSN Katsina State Branch. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we appreciate him once more, please? Thank you. With this, we will take the entertainment. I want to start with the State Cultural Troupe. You have 5 minutes, please. State Cultural Troupe. All right, let's have another performance, the Bankaura dance. If they're here, please do come on stage. I want to seize this opportunity to welcome a business tycoon in Katsina. He is A.A. Rahamawa. He has also supported this very important workshop. So A.A. Rahamawa mun gode kwarai. Wants to welcome you. Thank you. Thank you, State Cultural Troupe. Now, still before the award presentation, I was made to understand that there is going to be a poem recitation. I don't have the title, but I think it focuses on the antimicrobial resistance. So I want to invite to the microphone the poet. She will introduce herself and then proceed with the poem presentation.
Special guests, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, my name is Fadila Isa Idris, and I'm a poet, and I'm currently studying Doctor of Physiotherapy. I'm a student, and I'll be performing today about antimicrobial resistance, and here it goes. I've never told you how I first realized medication could fail, and how one day it simply didn't salute back to its master. Recalled sitting in a clinic, my nerves was watching a drug silently dissolve into the free spaces, and how bitterness crawled out of a fairy cave like an obedient hand, wrapping into the fringes of my tongue. At once, I left the breathing room, floating somewhere between unpainted galaxies, looking down at the poor world with the blind hopes trying so hard to claim the bounties of infections with tablets and capsules that no longer ties the knot. Like a thrown stone from the foot of a cliff, I fall back into my body, clutching ages like a toddler waking from a bizarre of a dream. I for once intercepted a thought. If there were a source for the crime, how could the microbes be rebellious? How could they have gotten such a confidence, the desire to live, to survive what once destroyed them, to persist to want to prey me instead and live longer? Many a times I blame the farmer to bless the animals with antibiotic feed. Sometimes it's the proud patient I blame. One home stops have a dose, the treatment for the fever had dropped, he who believed the war was over. Sometimes I chew the bitter blame for not paying attention to the mighty little ways we break victims. Oh, my blame. Listen, long before our fancy laboratory learned to shine, lived men of orthodox science. Women crushed stones into hopes, leaves into elixir, seeds into panacea, peeling into cure. Hot waters hold the ear most times into medicines. And I will say it twice. One for knowledge, two for the part of me that lifts the body, mind and soul towards the microbe stool, and if three, for the hands that draws the drugs down to humanity. Take MLS Ibrahim Muhammad Kaita decision making. Beside him is MLS Manir Ali Umani, and then there is MLS Muhib Ibrahim. Right next to him in history stands MLS Suraja Mikael. Travel a little further, and you see MLS Kabir Abdullahi Gozaki. How will you speak about pillars without naming MLS Umar and Aure? MLS Abubakar Suleiman Kangara, I definitely will not close without mentioning you. Extend my gratitude to MLS Mahmoud Enduze, MLS Williams, Samuel, our Oga at the top and Oga at the bottom. Excellent will be incomplete if I dare not end this without mentioning you. MLS Aisha Umar Abdusalam, my mother, the first scientist I ever knew. I understand healing in a lab scientist holding a slide into the light, learned to believe healing is dirty, like life itself. There was a time when heroes were measured by the sound of their name. Now let it be measured by how quietly they save lives. Because first there is a sample, then a slide, then a question. And if a cure is fragile, it is the hand of the scientist that lay its foundation without ever asking for gratitude. And so today, I speak gratitude into the veins of this world, into the hospitals, the uncertainty, the waiting rooms, and what disease teaches fragility. Perhaps what makes us human is not always seeing the cure, but daring over and over and over again to hold spaces for the life to be understood, even if only in our gratitude. May God the healer of what we see and what we cannot, grant wisdom to our leaders, strength to our elders, to our workers, clarity to our people, and mercy to this nation. May he keep Katsina safe, Nigeria standing, and keep our medicines long enough for our children to inherit its power. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we appreciate her once more, please? Thank you. You could have identified the representative of His Excellency as MLS Musa Adam Funtua. That would have been fine. At least for the purpose of this workshop training, Honorable Commissioner, you're one. Thank you most sincerely. I think on this note, before the remarks by His Excellency the Deputy and the remarks by His Excellency the Governor, we'll be taking the presentation of awards. Thank you. I think the presentation will be on two categories. I want to start with the first categories and then crave your indulgence as we invite some of the highly respected dignitaries here to please kindly assist. I want to first invite the representative of the Right Honorable Speaker, the Clerk of the House, to please come forward and assist to present some of the awards to the following. MLS Musa Yahya, the representative of the Registrar. So today the already chicken to the speaker I work. Then MLS Yusuf Bashar Alaji, the coordinator Northwest. Thank you, representative of the Right Honorable Speaker. I want to also invite the representative of our able chairman of the occasion. Okay, the chairman, the state chairman, Ahmad Tijani Abubakar, MLS. This award goes to him. MLS Ibrahim Mohammed Keita is the next recipient. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. May I also invite the Secretary to the Government of the State, his representative, the Permanent Secretary, Security and Cabinet, to assist him present this to, this goes to the Chairman of the LOC, Mahmoud Inusa Enduse. And incidentally, they dress blue, so I don't know. To ko daga Jigawa kake kai mu? Thank you. The next one is MLS Manir Aliumani. Yes, incidentally, the permanent secretary served under him when he was director, administration and supply. Now they're in the same club as permanent secretaries. Thank you, SGS. For this category, I think I want to first invite the representative of His Excellency, first as a recipient of this award, and then two, he will assist to present to some of the recipient here. And then at the start stage, he will also accept this award on behalf of His Excellency the Governor. But first, I want to invite him to please come forward as a recipient. And I want to invite the representative of the registrar to assist in presenting this award to the Honorable Commissioner, State Minister of Health, MLS Musa Adamu Funtua. So, Registrar, we are not done. You still receive another one on behalf of the acting registrar. Then the next award goes to my boss, the Secretary to the Government of the State. Invite his representative, the Permanent Secretary, Security and Cabinet, to accept on behalf of the SGS. As we are moving to the climax of this presentation, this award is also a very special one, because it goes to His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, Malam Faruk Lawal Jobe. So the Permanent Secretary standing here for him is expected to come forward and accept on his behalf. Then His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, has two awards. And I want to invite the Chairman of the LOC to please come forward and present this award on behalf of one. This award goes to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, and this category is from the Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria, award to His Excellency. From the state? Yes, I think from the state branch. So the actor register, may we have you once again as you present this award to His Excellency. I think this one is from the national body of the association. It also goes to His Excellency, the Executive Governor. Thank you. Thank you very much. So at this point in time, I think there's another award that is due to be presented. I want to invite Professor Usman Ali Dusama to also assist to present this award. I think it's by coincidence as you are presenting this award to Alhaji Usman Isiaku, the Special Advisor on Public Service Administration Reform, who is thank you. I think the last presentation for the award, this award goes to the head of civil service of the state. So may I invite the representative of His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, to assist in presenting this award to the head of civil service of the state. To accept this award will be the Permanent Secretary to Government House, Ibrahim Mohamed Keita. Please, can we have you? You'll accept on behalf of the head of civil service. Thank you. I will not allow the representative of the Deputy Governor to sit once again. May we also have you on stage as you deliver remarks on behalf of His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, before we invite the representative of His Excellency.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner of Health, Alhaji Musa Adam Funtua, the representative of the chairman of the occasion, who is the Chief Judge of Katsina State, Dr. Amir, the representative of the Secretary to the Katsina State Government, who is also the Permanent Secretary, Office of the SSG, Security and Cabinet, the representative of the Honorable Speaker, State House of Assembly, who is also the Clerk of the House, the representative of the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer, Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria, Scientist Musa Yahya Daura, the gurus, the who is academia that I'm seeing here, Professor Sarkin Fada, Professor Usman Ali Dusama, Professor Bashir, other important dignitaries here present. I said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is my singular honor and privilege to stand before you here today as the representative of His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, to deliver his address. Ladies and gentlemen, seeing this conference happening today, it is a clear Ladies and gentlemen, seeing and witnessing this conference, it is a clear testimony of this administration of His Excellency Malam Duka Umar Radda that is building your future. I know some people will think why I bring this issue. It is because this administration is building the future of the medical laboratory scientists in Katsina State. As a former chairman, Medical Laboratory Scientists Association of Katsina State, former Joint Health Sector Union chairman of Katsina State, I know how much we have been struggling to see something like this seeing the light of the day, but it has never happened. We struggled so hard in the previous administrations, but it was not possible, it was not done. But with this administration of His Excellency Malam Duka Umar Radda, the first attempt made was presented to him. Seeing the importance of medical laboratory science profession, he accepted and he sponsored this conference completely. It is a clear sign that His Excellency, as he is together with all the populace of Katsina State, especially the rural dwellers, he is also together with medical laboratory scientists of Katsina State. The administration of His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, has brought some changes, especially in the public service reforms. I want to tell all the scientists, young and all that are here, especially the young ones, your future is really bright. Because this administration have you at heart, especially with these public service reforms. Before the public service reforms, There wasn't anything of like appointment by merit. But this administration brought reforms, and appointments are now based on merit. You write exam, if you merit the appointment, you will be given freely without knowing anybody. Somebody like me standing here before you is a beneficiary of this public service reforms. I don't know anybody. If you are talking about long leg, I don't even have the leg. I cannot reach anywhere. An exam was set down, we sat, and we passed the examination. Here am I, the son of a poor man, with knowing nobody in the government, standing before you as a permanent secretary. Please, hands to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State. More grace be to his elbow. May God continue to help him to usher more and more progresses in the government. This administration does not stop that in upliftment of health sector and medical laboratory science profession. This government has increased the number of interns that are employed. So there is no fear. You can send your child to the school. He has a space in Katsina State, most especially with the rate at which Katsina State is employing health sectors, which has never been done before this administration. I'm sure you witnessed the number of employment, the medical doctors, the scientists, the technicians, the nurses, and other health professionals that are employed. Even recently, Primary Healthcare Agency is employing thousands of healthcare workers, something, as I said earlier on, that has never been done before this administration. This government has also, as was said by my colleague, it is spending a lot in improvement of health center facilities. The state-of-art of equipment in diagnostic center that is currently under construction is a testimony of the extension of this administration in uplifting health sector. There is no way you can talk about diagnostic centers without talking about medical laboratory profession. This government is spending billions of naira in constructing a state-of-art diagnostic center that is world-class, that it can be proud of anywhere in the world. This administration, when it comes, not so long it comes into this administration into line, it is paying about 2 billion naira, 449 million naira, 399 naira in the sponsorship of foreign graduate students, health biased, for the study of medicine and other health professions. This administration has also improved the entry point for medical doctors. It has been sponsoring residents. It has improved their allowances just in order to improve health sector. This administration, to that end, this government has spent about 26 million naira in the payment of allowances to resident doctors. This administration has also spent about 13 billion naira, 453 million naira, 862,000 naira, 785 naira in the rehabilitation of primary healthcare centers across the state. Please let us appreciate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, for that. There is no time for me to talk so much, and my boss, my Oga, the Honorable Commissioner of Health, will talk more on the dividend of the democracy brought into the health by this administration. The message I have for the young ones is you should know that your future is bright with this administration of Duko Umar Rada. More opportunities are created, more health sectors are being filled. Recently, about 6 primary health sectors were upgraded to General Hospital. Charanchi and others are upgraded to General Hospital. So more and more employment opportunities are being created. Therefore, we should appreciate this government, we should support this government. When we go back to our houses as medical laboratory scientists, we should appreciate this government and we should tell our children the good work of this government administration of Malam Duko Umar Rada. With this, I said to the organizers of this conference, it is really timely with the advent of new resistant antibiotic bacteria and other infectious diseases. This conference is timely. To His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, we said thank you very much. More grace to your elbow for support you have been given to medical laboratory science profession and the health sector in general. I wish everybody that comes here a safe journey back home. To the organizers, I wish you a successful stay in this conference, and please use the knowledge that is gathered here in order to move health sector forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That has been the remarks by His Excellency the Deputy Governor. I want to seize this opportunity to welcome A.A. Rahamawa. He is one of the supporters to this workshop training. A.A. Rahamawa, welcome. I want to also announce that some of our facilitators are very much around. One of them is the Chairman of Sokoto State AMLS, Mohammed Gimba, I beg your pardon, he is here, as well as pharmacist Adam Muslim Angachi. You're welcome. So at this point in time, we'll take the formal vote of thanks before the speech by the special guest of honor and the formal declaration of the training open. So I want to invite the Chairman LOC, Mahmoud Inusa Enduse, to give the formal vote of thanks.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Malam Duko Umar Rada, PhD COO, ably represented by our Honorable Commissioner, sir, we want to sincerely appreciate the support given to us by your government with the support of Honorable Commissioner to execute this workshop and outreach. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, who through all our courtesy visit have also received us and assured us his presence, though he is absent in the country, but he is with us in spirit. We sincerely appreciate him. We want to appreciate the head of service, the secretary to the government, the speaker, and all the permanent secretaries. Specifically, we want to appreciate our facilitators They are erudite professors. We invited them to come and assist in order to make sure that this One Health workshop take place. They left their comfort of their home to come and educate people of Katsina. We are sincerely grateful to you. To all the participants who came to this opening ceremony, we sincerely appreciate you. To the chairman and his ESCO of the state, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to organize this workshop and all the support you have been given. To my committee members, in fact, they are the great young men. They have supported the move. Really, I'm proud of you. They give us all the support. I want, sir, inform you that these young men will stay up to 2 a.m. discussing and planning on how to execute this thing with them. I really appreciate you. To the people from outside the state, particularly the chairman of Sokoto State who came in, we welcome you and we thank you for coming to our occasion, and we pray to Almighty Allah to take us all back to our destination. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. I think this is the very climax of the opening ceremony. His Excellency, the Governor, is expected to perform 3 major functions. One, deliver His Excellency, his speech, then 2, make the formal pronouncement of the workshop, or rather training open. And then after the national anthem, His Excellency, the Governor, will take a tour to the medical outreach there to the uncle, or the person that will take him around will be the chairman of the LOC. And then we wish to announce that it will be limited to the invited guests, probably those that we invite sitting at the front seat, to accompany His Excellency to the medical outreach point for inspection. So at this point in time, it is my honor and privilege to invite the representative of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, the Honorable Commissioner, State Minister of Health, Honorable MLS Musa Ademufuntua, to please come forward for His Excellency's speech.
Everybody sit down, sit down, sit down. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, Dr. Faruk Lawal Jobe, heavily represented by the Permanent Secretary, the Honorable Speaker, Katsina State House of Assembly, heavily represented by the Clerk of the House, my Lord, the Chief Judge of the State, heavily represented here present, the Secretary to the State Government, heavily represented, the Head of Service, the Registrar, heavily represented by one of our own, as a son of the soil, the Chairman and the ESCO, the Chairman Local Organizing Committee, distinguished the gathering of professors, the permanent secretaries here are many for his representative. Let me recognize the permanent secretary too, who is one of the keynote address, data and the rest. and a great shoe that represented people. The directors and the tutors, that's the phrases, the participants, the management of the Ministry of Health, the management of the Health Science Management Board, the younger ones, the other participants, all invited guests, the philanthropists and the other guests, the local organizing committee. Assalamu alaikum. Indeed, today is another milestone in the history of Katsina State as we gather here a composition of the health family with a revolt sense of teamwork, collaboration as a stakeholders on the issue, on the people that, let me put it in this way. As a stakeholder, as a health family, when you are talking about the Association of Medical Laboratory Science of Nigeria, I can name you, you are the detectors. You are the diagonators. In one way or the other, you are the nucleus. In one way or the other, you are a yellow fever. You can stop anybody. Gentlemen, but it must be a teamwork, it must be a collaboration. Purposely with a sole aim objective. As we are gathered here, we are talking about the health. Health is life. Life is important. Whenever we are there, we can say even living things. The living things that are only, but the most important assets are human being. But generally, as we gather to discuss, to collaborate, to share idea towards reality of detection and diagnosis in Katsina State. But let me assure you, it's a privilege given to me to stand on the great shoe of His Excellency, the Governor and Chief Executive of Katsina State, Dr. Duko Omarda, CON, which I believe is not a matter of political will. It's a matter of reality. Everybody has a political will. But the reality is practically what you have on ground. But let me seize the opportunity to assure this gathering, this is a state with a roadmap of building a future. If you are building a future, you need to be security, you need education, you need agriculture, you need health, which is health is life, life is wealth. And health is something one line, which you cannot say that you can change the line. You shall either face the reality or you either have a challenge. And I believe to score a political goal, no association or country on the world say without to say that achieve socio-economic aspect of having a future of people without a good health generally. So gentlemen, this state yearly under review, it operates tertiary, secondary and primary. This is a state with a population of over 10 million, 34 local government, 361 wards. And this is a state in the tertiary sector, as we are talking today. Building a human resource or merit is an order of the day and the business as usual. Today, replacement, train and retrain, sponsor of other people to go, the younger ones, toward building a future of Katsina State, which I believe with the workforce based on merit, Katsina State has a future, is an order of the day and business as usual. This is a state where, if you are talking about the tertiary, we gather here based on the issue of laboratory diagnosis. But this is your home. This is your home. Because seeing is believing. This is a state under tertiary. We are embarking a project of a medical diagnosis center, image center, to serve as a world-class attractor across the world Africa, which is, I am assure you, today, we achieve over 87% implementation of that project. And that project is a project that goes for billions. You know, on the issue of buying things, machines and innovation, is not a window shopping. You have to organize the quality one. You have to train. We visit our collaboration and the partners the way we are sourcing our infrastructure is Siemens, one of the company that can be competed across the world. And today, all the equipment that needed in that sector is 100% been paid. And nobody owns a single step fast. On the construction side, what we are doing is something that has a lot of detectives, management, how to put it on the right board, which I assure you the implementation of those kind of projects is about 87% on ground. And this is a state. We have a dialysis center that is about identifying a problem is a solution to a problem. We cannot identify a problem without a diagnosis and the team of medical laboratory scientists. So generally, when we talk about other infrastructure in the tertiary institution, health institution, I'm talking about today, we are building a pharmaceutical company which is over 92%, infrastructure and engines 100% on ground. The rest is installation. And this is a state where I believe in continuity. We inherit a project that dealing about eye center, diagnosis, psychology, which is today, it becomes is reached about 80% towards about the completion of the state. I have more to say, but this I touch a little bit about the tertiary. When I come to secondary sector, the secondary health sector in Katsina State, generally, today, we have 15 period constituency, 3 senatorial zone headquarters. As I'm sure you, all the period constituency has 15. Today, by upgrading a primary center into a comprehensive center, into a general hospital center, is an order of the day which you can go around. We have 361 ward. That's 361 ward. Today, you can know the health sector cannot be achieved without a comprehensive and effective primary health center. Today, we are locally, without forget about the other states that are dealing with the issue of the fertilization project. This is the reality that I'm talking to. 261 are 100% completed very much on ground in Katsina State with the comprehension of human resource development, infrastructure, tricycle ambulance, all this in order to meet the standard. But as I'm talking to you now, the remaining 100 they are soon very coming on board. But in the center, the primary center, it comprises the conducive environment for the doctors and medical who to operate with their house and everything has been taken care. So doctors, generally, in terms of building of human resources, they have future in Katsina State. Residency training is very much on ground, which is our doctors has future. Sponsoring a younger ones to be a future doctors toward build, not today, tomorrow, for the good future of Katsina State is an order of the day. We have a younger ones that are in Egypt, as I'm talking to do, and various courses. But why we gather here, we are talking about the issue of laboratory. Train and retrain, upgrading, building a comprehensive laboratory diagnosis centers, not even that of tertiary. Even in graduating from our primary center, train and retrain is an order of the business as usual. So each and every sector has a complete package that towards the life of the human resource development as well as infrastructure development very much on ground. So this is a little bit about Katsina in 3 sectors. But all along, why Katsina? Why building a future? The building a future is built in collaboration, teamwork, partnership, exchange idea, and rather mind in order to enhance and pack the knowledge of the younger ones towards future and building Katsina State generally. So gentlemen, this is a little bit about Katsina in terms of diagnosis. I assure you, I concur with the speech of the representative of the deputy governor and even the remark of the other thing, people that have touched a little bit. But as we know, we honor and we believe on time frame. But you know, if you around me, you know, each and every time, if you have done or speaking something that you know that seeing is believing, you have the courage and the ability to negate, which you can talk more than 1 hour, 2 hours, because it's a fact. So gentlemen, the younger ones, the tutors that are here on ground, I believe that our boss would believe in the providing a conducive environment for you. Katsina State is a safe home for each and everyone. I assure you, as I come here to represent him, to discuss about this issue that we are, which I say you are August business, but I assure you with a conducive environment, I assure you with all 3 government support to ensure that you achieve why you are here. So on behalf of His Excellency, the Governor and Chief Executive of Katsina, being the privilege given to me as a Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Health, we believe in collaboration and the teamwork and the conducive environment for people to operate. So we are in a very good hand. You are in a very good hand. The issue of medical laboratory in Katsina State has a future generally in Katsina State, which I believe seen is very, 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 very. So gentlemen, I use this opportunity to assure you that, to remind you, which I believe everybody has in mind, that sharing knowledge, wisdom, that is a roadmap towards success of building human being and building a future of a good state. So you can see the role model of building a future. When it comes to health sector as a health party, we believe this Katsina State, in terms of collaboration, all this kind of sector-wide approach, all hand on deck, particularly the approach problem to solve a solution to a problem, we are always on key in collaboration, teamwork in health and work. So on behalf of myself and the president given to me, I want to declare this question open. And I wish you all the best and successful declaration. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the mighty, our Lord, to bless this occasion. Once again, thank you very much.